Welcome to Indian England News. We have a very special guest today who has been Chief of Cardiology at a local hospital for about 40 years. According to our research, this is one physician who has been for longest time continuously Chief of Cardiology in any hospital in the United States and probably in the world. Our guest is Dr. Salil Midha from Melrose-Wakefield Hospital. Dr. Midha, thank you so much for coming and welcome, and it's a very pleasure to see you again.
Thank you so much for the invitation. I'm very excited.
Excellent. So first thing I want to say that we are really truly honored to honor you at New England Choice Awards on October 29th at Burlington Marriott for your service in healthcare and Healthcare Excellence Awards. And we are looking forward to honoring you. It will be a sold-out gala with who's who of the community and the local business area as well. So
thank you for giving me the opportunity.
Excellent. So now, before we get into the details about your life, I want to start. What brought you to the United States, and when did you come here?
Well, I finished my medical school from Rohtak Medical College, which is part of Punjab University, and then I joined PGI Chandigarh. I really had the desire to strive to the next level, and I wanted to get more education. So I came to USA in 1975.
75 or 79?
75.
75, okay.
In 75, after coming here in the middle of the month of June, all the internship positions were gone. So for about 10 months or so, I did odd jobs and finally got into one of the Cornell affiliated hospital in New York at Mount Vernon Hospital in New York.
And then also you were also involved with one of the very rare, the second case of a disease in surgery in the world. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so from there I moved on as a chief medical resident at Jersey City Medical Center. While I was there, one night I was in charge. At midnight, we were trying to help this patient. After finishing the case, I came to my room and I was reading New England Journal of Medicine, and they presented exactly the same patient with bilateral lung infiltrates. After looking into it, I went back and gave the treatment as recommended by the Harvard Medical School. And later on, that case came out to be the second case of Legionnaire's disease in the country and in the world. The first case was in Philadelphia, so we became the second case in the world.
Okay. Now, the one thing I want to get quickly that you also have a very interesting history with the famous doctor and writer Deepak Chopra and his family. So tell us about that. You worked with Dr. Deepak Chopra for a few years.
I did. I finished my fellowship at Harvard Medical School in Cardiology from 1979 to 1981. At that time, I was looking for some extra money, so I started moonlighting at the Melrose-Wakefield Hospital. One day, I met Dr. Deepak Chopra in the emergency room, and he wanted me to cover his practice. So I covered his practice on a Memorial Day weekend in 1981. And from that onwards, they suddenly offered me a position. So I joined their group in Melrose, which was a multi-specialty group. So I worked with Deepak for about 5 years or so.
So the 5 years is a long time to figure it out, somebody's strength and weakness. What do you think was his very good characteristics, or I should say his strength?
I think he was very knowledgeable and very convincing, and he could convey the message in a very easy fashion to anybody in the hospital or to the public, like what the content and how the East and West were different and how we could improve the well-being.
Okay. Now, how the connection goes to his father, Colonel Chopra in India?
Well, in 1989, one day, Dr. V.K. Saini, who was the chief of cardiothoracic surgery in Needham, asked me if I could join him to do pacemakers. I was doing them here anyway. So I went with him, and the first time we went, we went to Moolchand Hospital in New Delhi, and Colonel Chopra was the chief of cardiology there.
Right.
So we had a wonderful time. He was hospitable, and we just did lots of surgery under his domain in Moolchand Hospital.
Okay. Now, coming back to some serious stuff, I think also you have played a very important role in introducing new things at Melrose-Wakefield Hospital. Can you talk about some of them briefly?
Sure. I came in Melrose-Wakefield Hospital in 1981, and within about 1 week, we started right heart catheterization. Shortly thereafter, we started the new echocardiography lab. We started a nuclear cardiology program, and then I started the cardiac rehabilitation program in my office. It became so big that we moved it to the hospital. From there on, the biggest innovation came is that we were trying to do cardiac catheterization in community hospitals. Until that time, nothing was available like that in community hospitals in Massachusetts. So at that time, we applied, and we were one of the 4 hospitals, and state gave us permission to start the cardiac catheterization lab. So that I call it tertiary care help at the community level setting. And now we are running a cardiology program for almost 28 to 30 years in Melrose-Wakefield Hospital.
Now, also, you founded Boston Cardiac Foundation. It's a charity organization which has been doing service for free in Latin America, Africa, even in India. And tell us about that foundation, how it works and what you do.
Well, I started working with the charitable foundation with Dr. Sani and Colonel Chopra at that time in 1990. And we have been going to India every year, sometimes twice. About 12, 14 years ago, I wanted to do something more. I wanted to involve more physicians. So we started Boston Cardiac Foundation. Now, since we started the Boston Cardiac Foundation, we have been going to many countries. We have gone to India in several places. We go to New Delhi, we go to Meerut, so much so that in UP, the first pacemaker ever implanted in such a large state was done by us.
When was that?
It's 2000.
2000.
We did the first pacemaker in UP. So in addition, we've been going to South America, to Paraguay. We have gone to Ethiopia, which is Addis Ababa, for 7 years. And I have a whole team of physicians from Mass General and other staff members who have gone and joined me. Recently, what we have done is we have added some newer areas. So one of our associates has been going to Haiti. We started the new pacemaker program in Haiti, and now I'm working with Mass General to start the new program in Azores and in Cape Verde.
Very good. Now, also, how do you fund these charitable operations?
Well, I'll say that the pacemakers are donated solely by all the companies, and Medtronic and St. Jude, Abbott have been absolutely wonderful for us, especially Medtronic, I would say. They have given me over 1,000 devices in the last so many years. And if you just count it, that would be about close to $4 million in donations by the company. As far as the rest of the expenses are concerned, we do fundraisers here, and I do annual golf tournament here.
I wanted to touch base on that as well. So it's coming up soon too, right?
Yes, it's coming on September 11th, in about 2 or 3 weeks.
Here in Boston, right?
In Boston, and in Melrose, in the Bellevue Golf Club.
That's a beautiful golf club.
It is a very nice golf club, and we do some special event. We do a helicopter golf ball drop, and we do some other things in a nice day and a nice evening. And I have about up to 100 golfers come and play.
That's a big number, yeah.
It's a big number. So we've been doing morning and afternoon programs over there. And then in addition, it just brings the community together. And I'm very proud that so many of our Indian friends generously participate and donate to the foundation, so I can keep on doing this work for the past so many decades now.
Excellent. Now, so if I look at your passion for the cardiac work, your charity foundation and all the services you provide in South America, and Africa, and India. Uh, what really inspires you in life? How you got inspirations to do all these things?
Well, when I started, one of our co-members was Susan Deter, and she was about 25 years older than I am. With Dr. Sani, they used to go together. And we just lost her only last year. She was 92. So she did the missions from 1989 until the time she was 88. And this woman was amazing, and she was selfless, and she'd take the devices, she'll do all the things with us. So much so that one day, about 15 years ago, when I said to my wife, I said, "Oh, I'm tired. I want to stop doing that." She said, "Well, how could you stop that? Susan is 20 years older than you, and she's still doing it, so you should keep on doing it." So she was the inspiration.
So now talking about your wife, we always say that there is always a woman behind a man's achievement. I know that she passed away about 5-6 years ago.
Yes.
How did she influence your life?
She was tremendous. She was a school teacher. When we got married, she was running her own school in Delhi, and at kindergarten school, she'll pick up the kids, bring them to the house and teach them. And then when she came here, she was a wonderful lady, a beautiful mother, and she took care of the kids so I could keep on doing my cardiology programs. And she was the backbone of our family.
Very good. Sorry to hear that she passed away a few years ago. Now, if I ask you to name one mentor who has really inspired you, changed your life, who would be that person?
There's only one. That was our principal, Hariram, in DAV School, Chandigarh. Amazing guy, beautiful discipline, very knowledgeable, instilled values and hard work, and always taught one thing: don't worry about the outcomes, just do the hard work. That was his motto. And he would teach us English. And I cannot tell you how impressive we were as children at that age, and then just listen to him and do what he said. And I think that made the difference in my life.
Excellent. Now, can we talk about some fun on-the-spot questions for you?
Sure.
Okay. So let's start with Bollywood. Who is your favorite actress?
Well, I'll have to go back to Wahida Rahman in Movie Guide. I mean, that's my all-time favorite movie, all-time favorite songs, and just anytime if I'm bored, I can watch Guide again and again.
How many times have you watched Guide?
Oh, I know. Maybe 100. That many. 50, 100 times. But the number one song in my car when I'm listening is always Movie Guide songs.
Yeah.
That's what I did.
So what did you like in Guide? At that time it was some sort of a real, revolutionary movie at that time in the Indian context. What did you really thought? This is really very cool about this movie.
I think this movie touches the heart of the problem of understanding the meaning of life. I really think the guy reaches it. The whole Guide movie is in a flashback where Devanand is going back and out of the jail, doesn't want to go back to the town, and tries to do something different. And it really teaches his character and Wahida Rahman's character and how it shaped the thinking and how it was so difficult in that movie to have a lady like Wahida Rahman who had gone through tough times and Devanand helped her out and public didn't like it, and then how it ended up.
Well, now I think let us switch our topic from cardiology and healthcare to Bollywood. I'm really having a great time talking to you about that. So Wahida Rahman is, of course, who will be your number two actress?
I would have to say the movie Kashmir Ki Kali, Sharmila Tagore, Shami Kapoor.
They were her first movie.
It was the first movie.
Yeah, her first movie.
Her first movie.
Yeah.
Probably one of the best songs. I mean, I think there are 9 songs in the movie, and I think all 9 are better than
I love the one, Isharo.
Isharo. That's right.
Yeah.
And before I came here, I was listening to Subhanallah, like that. But those songs are, as a matter of fact, one time when Harish Gang used to do programs, I would call him, Songs of India. I'd call him up. I said, Harish, can you play that song? And he'd play that song, Divana Hua Bado, for me, from Kashmir Ki Kali. So just, and I'd say in Bollywood, I go back to Madan Mohan's songs and just Sahib Ludhianvi's. Once you go back,
I'm a big fan of that.
If Salil Midha's written songs and then Madan Mohan's music and, a few of these guys like Wahid Rahman and Devanand and, just amazing Dharmender and Amitabh Bachchan's. And
so I have to come to the next question. Among actors, who think you will be your favorite actor?
I think Amitabh Bachchan remains the top of the whole world, and I love when I saw him in Anand. He created an impression of like how he could persuade. But I like the lighter side of Amitabh Bachchan, like he made movies like Namak Halal and Shabadis and all that. They're very entertaining movies and all that.
So Dr. Midha, what is you think is your weakness, your biggest weakness you have?
My weakness would be is I wish I could keep on doing more.
Okay.
And I don't think I can. There's only so much energy you can do. It's been my passion to take care of patients and do charity work, and I'm so proud that so many people have joined me. However, I wish I could keep on doing more.
Yeah. And your strength, you think?
My strength would be is to finish the job when it's assigned to. That's how the whole programs in the hospital started. They would have meetings, and after the meeting, next month there'll be another meeting. And finally, one day when the administration said, "Can you do it?" I said, "Yes, I can do it." And that was history making in my career.
This reminds me of a very interesting story in Mahabharata when Bhismapitama is a kid and he goes, in the heaven to study and all this stuff. When he comes back, he's 12, 13-year-old. And his father asked him that, "Okay, son, tell me, what did the Brihaspati, who was the teacher of all the gods, what did Brihaspati teach you?" And he Bhismapitama says, "He taught me that when you start something, finish that. If not, that work will finish you." So what you are saying is just
when I have taken a task, I would finish it to the completion, right or wrong, and then if there's a problem, then I refix it. But I don't leave anything untouched.
Excellent, very good. That's how I work too.
Yeah.
So now, other question for you is: if not, with all this depth of experience you have in your life with charity and professionalism, if one advice you have to give to a young person or teenager or somebody who is inspiring to build a career, what would be that one advice?
I would say, no matter what you're doing, work very hard and honestly, and don't give up. If you make a mistake, you actually learn from it. So don't worry about the outcomes. Just do it. Once somebody assigns you the job, just do it and compete. And competition is very easy for Indian community. We can compete with almost anybody. But I think completion of the mission is a very important thing.
Now, what about, for example, if you have, your life is, at least we see success in every aspect we look at it. How do you define success?
I think my biggest success in life, besides medicine, I think playing golf, honestly. I have been playing golf now for about 30 years. And the best part has been playing with my son for so many years. And in Bellevue Club, we won about 9 championships. So that was a success, which I cannot tell you how wonderful it is. And one of the biggest success would be is that I also go to Florida in Naples in the Vineyards Country Club. My wife Madhu and I, won the couples club championship, and our name is on the board. I call that a success.
Excellent.
I've been a senior champion there twice.
Oh, excellent.
And
Now your son is also a doctor, or he's in different?
no, my son is in finance.
Fine. So how many kids you have?
I have 3 children.
And all boys or girls?
No, Anjali, which is the oldest one, used to be the global director of research for Twitter. And then she started her new company, which is Diesel Labs, and she's in Boston. And my son is in the middle, who works for John Hancock. And my youngest daughter is a physician who works in Beth Israel program. She's a hospitalist.
So all in this area.
All in the
Lucky you.
But
At least we have somebody in the healthcare.
well,
Right.
I think it's wonderful. I think I was able to convince one of them to go in medicine, and she's been awesome. She's actually now the diversity queen of Beth Israel. She
Sure.
does grand rounds at Harvard Medical School.
Excellent. So now we talked about success. Let's come back to how do you look at failure?
My failure would be I wish I spent more time with my children during all these years. I wish I spent more time with my wife. I wish I didn't work so hard. To be honest with you, I wish I was able to just do more for my family.
One thing you missed today in your life?
Oh, I miss going to the ball games of my kids when they were in high school and middle school. They would have the ball games, and my wife would take them to the dance to Nina Gulati and all the, and she'd be doing it and I wouldn't be doing it. I wish I was part of that at that time.
Anything you think if you have to redo? Okay, here is, Dr. Midha, you have a brand new chance. This is your opportunity. Whatever you wish you can do right now, what will be that?
I think work-life balance would be the key. Doing the work in the hospitals and clinics and all that. And I was offered a position a number of years ago to join as a co-director of Mass General Pacemaker Lab. I should have taken that opportunity and gone into more academics at that time. I should have done that. But beyond that, I think spending time with the family and children is the only change I've made. I love being a cardiologist. I love my patients. I love hospital staff. And it's been a beautiful journey, I have to say that.
So how many, you also mentioned off the camera that when you were in India, you delivered about 1,000 babies.
I did 1 year internship or first year residency at PGI Chandigarh before I could come here. At that time, actually, I was not sure if I wanted to be a cardiologist or OBGYN. So Chandigarh is my hometown. I grew up there. So I was able to get into PGI Chandigarh. And over there, every third night I was on call. And every night when you were on call, the minimum babies you delivered would be at least 10 or 15 or so. So I had a lot of experience. I used to do surgeries and I did C-sections. I would do tubal ligations. I would do ovarian tumors out. Actually, retrospectively, that's the experience which helped me do surgery, for which I was able to do pacemakers and everything so easily. And so I think nothing ever goes to waste.
Sure. I believe in that.
I think no matter.
So how many pacemakers you have done so far? If you take all through the foundation as well as...
I have done about 10,000 cardiac procedures, about 5,000 to 6,000 coronary angiograms, and I've done about 4,000 pacemakers in my life, which is a lot of pacemakers. Keep in mind that they allow you to be a pacemaker specialist if you do 25 a year as a doctor in the country. So I've done between 75 to 100 pacemakers for 40 years.
40 years. Even every year, right?
Every year. And I'm still doing them. I mean, this month alone, August, I've done about 4 cases already this month alone, like that. Yeah.
Okay. Now, before we come towards the end of the interview, I wanted to ask you your last word about life. I know it's a very tough question to put you on the spot.
The best thing about life is, I think, just do the right thing and not worry about the outcomes. I think that would be the key. And just be true to yourself and spend time with your loved ones. And just try to take the best things out of the other without criticizing other people. Criticism never works. Anger never works. Ego never works. Give up your ego, anger, and greed. I think you're golden.
Dr. Midha, thank you so much for your time, and it was an honor and really enjoyed talking to you today.
Thank you so much. It
Excellent.
was so
And
nice.
see you on October 29th at the New England Press Awards.
I would love to. Thank you so much
Excellent.
for giving me the time.
Sure.